One of the most common questions we get asked about fat loss is how to reduce body fat in the stomach, and which exercise is best for doing this. Basically, the one answer is there isn't any. You'll go to the gym and see loads of people doing ab crunches and reverse sit-ups. There's whole classes devoted to abdominal training, and a large percent of these people attend these classes to get rid of body fat on the stomach. Fat storage around the abdomen is largely related to increased stress hormone output through, it could be relationship stress, it could be stress from the job, it could be bad digestion, it could be it could be a lot of things. What we do to try and get rid of body fat on the stomach is put them on a specific nutrition protocol, which is a bit out of scope, beyond the scope of this taping to go into that. But if people are looking for exercises to reduce body fat, what we would recommend is to undertake a whole body resistance training approach, which includes upper body, lower body exercises done in a certain way, which would elicit lactate production, so that sick feeling when you train, and then this in turn will decrease body fat that way. An example of this could be pairing the bench press with squats, and then as a second pairing of exercises you could do deadlifts with pull-ups or pull-downs. Another question we've been asked is, should I eat carbohydrates after 6 o'clock if I'm wanting to reduce body fat? Now, the body doesn't actually know what time it is, and eating carbs past 6 o'clock is not necessarily bad. I would, however, suggest if you are wanting to lose body fat, then your carbohydrate intake typically should be low. It should be really limited to vegetables and certain fruits. The problem is when a lot of people are trying to lose body fat and they're eating porridge for breakfast, rice, potatoes throughout the day, they're increasing the carbohydrate intake. Now, the body can only store a certain amount of carbohydrates, and any excess of this will be stored in the fat tissue, therefore contributing to more body fat. If you are wanting to lose weight and lose body fat, then you should stick to a Paleolithic type of diet, which includes lean meats, vegetables, certain fruits, nuts, seeds, and keep carbohydrate intake typically low, and this will help reduce fat all over, and it works with a lot of our clients. We had a question from a lady who wanted to know if implementing resistance training into her program would actually help fat loss. She currently does just cardiovascular stuff in the gym, so 20 minutes on a treadmill, then goes to 20 minutes on the bike, finish off with maybe 10 minutes rowing. I would definitely say yes. All women should basically take part in some form of resistance training to increase bone density and muscle mass. The idea behind resistance training is you increase your metabolic rate, which will therefore increase your calorie expenditure at rest. So, women tend to be a little phobic of weights, especially in like free weight areas when you've got a lot of guys throwing weights about. But implementing some kind of resistance training would definitely increase fat loss and increase muscle tone as well. If I could pick only one supplement to use for fat loss, I would probably pick fish oil, as long as stomach acid levels are correct. The difficulty with this question is we use a whole variety of supplements depending on the person's biosignature or their current status in terms of body fat and health, if they have any conditions, etc. It's very difficult to answer just one supplement. We tend to use a variety of supplements. There are many benefits to using fish oils as a fat loss supplement. For instance, it turns off the fat storing genes and turns on the fat burning genes. They make you more insulin sensitive, which increases fat loss. So if someone's on a budget, can only really afford one supplement to take, then I would probably recommend fish oil as that supplement. If you're wanting to lose body fat, the most ideal breakfast to eat would be a Paleolithic type of breakfast. A lot of people eat porridge for breakfast when trying to lose weight. The problem is it's not high enough in protein. It's high in carbohydrates, which will probably put them on like a blood sugar roller coaster, which is not good at the start of the day. Another problem with eating carbohydrates at the beginning of the day is they increase serotonin, which is a brain chemical which can make you feel tired and lethargic, so a person's productivity may not be as high as what it would be eating a breakfast more suited to a Paleolithic diet. Now the breakfast I would recommend is a meat and nuts breakfast, preferably lean red meats, as they contain an amino acid called tyrosine, which increases a brain chemical called dopamine, which is the brain chemical for motivation. The reason why we put nuts in are because they increase a brain chemical called acetylcholine, which is the brain chemical for concentration. So this pairing of meat and nuts is the ideal combination for to get a good be productive basically throughout the day, and set you off so that you're not on a blood sugar roller coaster. As far as training goes for fat loss, I would definitely not recommend steady state cardiovascular. It's a complete waste of time. If you do want to do any cardiovascular exercise, then it should be interval training, whereas you warm up and then you do a set amount at a fast pace, and then you do a set time at a recovery pace. So for instance, if you're quite trained, you'd warm up and then you'd for instance on the bike do a minute sprint followed by a minute of active rest, so you're just kind of plodding along on the bike. And you could perform this for about 10 to 20 minutes depending on how fit you are. I would definitely incorporate some resistance training in this as well. Now, depending on how many times a week you train, this could be a split routine, or it could be an upper body lower body split, and there are several different programs for fat loss which can be incorporated into a whole fat loss plan. If you're wanting any more information on fat loss techniques, on nutrition for fat loss, supplements for fat loss, they're all available in our book, The Edge Gym's Permanent Fat Loss Program. It can be purchased at www.edgegyms/fat-loss. It's $9.99 and all the information is in